Love and larceny, a nail tech's perfect day gone fatally wrong. Camera shows sunlight peeking through blinds, then cuts to a steaming cup of coffee and a nail desk being sanitized. Hey guys, good morning. It's Kayana here. Welcome back to another day in the life of a nail tech. But let me just say, today? Whew, it went left, fast. Like romance turned financial fraud and FBI level betrayal kind of left. But we'll get to that. So I started the morning like I always do. Made my hazelnut coffee, lit my cinnamon roll candle, and pulled out my Swarovski crystals. It was gonna be a chill Wednesday, or so I thought. My first client was Tasha. She's been coming to me for months. Real estate agent, loud laugh, always tips 30%. We were doing a freestyle chrome marble set, short coffin, while sipping iced chai and talking mess about this new dating app called Looped. She was telling me how the men on there either wanted to invest in your business or scam you out of it. I should have listened. Camera shows a phone screen with a heart-filled text. Can't wait to see you tonight. Made reservations at Rooftop 42. Dress sexy. That was Jordan. We'd been talking for 5 months. Smooth, generous. Always asking about my nail business. He even helped me set up QuickBooks. Fine, too. Dark waves, gold chain, dimples that didn't quit. I thought I was in love. I thought he believed in my dream. After my second client, I stopped by the bank to deposit $2,400 in cash tips from the week. Y'all know, bridal season has me booked and blessed. My business account was looking nice. I even saw a teller I knew, Miss Claudia. She complimented my chrome set. We joked about how men ain't nothing but expensive distractions. Girl, she had no idea how right she was. I FaceTimed Jordan on break. He was at work, supposedly closing a deal with his financial advising firm. He wore that navy blue blazer I loved. But something felt off. He kept glancing away. Then he said, "Hey babe, quick question. What's your business routing number again? I want to wire you a little surprise." I laughed it off. But he insisted, said it was for a custom nail station he found online. I gave it to him, like an idiot. I walked in wearing this little black cutout dress and rhinestone heels. Hair was in a slick side bun, red lip poppin'. I felt like a whole Bratz doll. But Jordan wasn't there. Hostess checked. No reservation under his name. My stomach dropped. I called. Straight to voicemail. I checked my bank app. And baby, when I tell you, my heart stopped. 14,762 gone. He'd cleaned out every single account connected to my LLC, even the savings I was using to open my second studio in Decatur. I ran out of that restaurant in heels like it was the season finale of Scandal. The officer took my statement, said this happens more than people think. Financial love scams. They're intimate, manipulative, and terrifyingly smart. They traced Jordan's IP address. And get this, he wasn't Jordan. His real name was Kevin Travis, already wanted in 3 states for financial fraud and impersonation. And the QuickBooks he helped me set up, that's how he got in. I sat there with a matcha clay mask, some old R&B, and a bottle of Prosecco, wondering, how do you fall for a con man while giving someone a perfect set? How do you love someone who was just studying you like a spreadsheet? But the gag is, I called up my girls, filed the fraud paperwork, got my accounts locked down and secured, and by Saturday, I was booked solid again. Because what he forgot is, you can steal my money, but not my hustle. I'm not even gonna lie, I almost canceled my whole day. But I threw on a hoodie, slid into my Crocs, and went to the nail supply store anyway. I needed acetone, not therapy. While browsing glitters, I ran into this girl with orange ombre nails. She was talking to her friend about some dude named Kevin who scammed her boutique out of $5,000. You already know I whipped around and said, "Kevin who?" Yep, same dude, different name, same game. Turns out she met him on Looped too, just under a different profile. Sis even showed me his old business card. J. Taylor Investments, the exact fake firm he told me about. So, you already know I went into full FBI mode, opened my Finsta and started clicking hashtags. Work Looped Atlanta, work Small Biz Baddie, or Nail Tech Atlanta. Girl, I found 4 more women he'd followed, commented hard eyes on, and invested in. One even posted a story with him in the background at a pop-up she hosted, holding her square card reader like he was part of the staff. I screenshotted everything. I was on some Olivia Pope meets Cash App Recovery hotline energy. I even printed receipts and made a Google Drive folder titled, "He played me, but he played himself harder." Friday night, just as I was applying builder gel to my own nails, I heard a knock. I thought it was my DoorDash. I'd ordered Jamaican curry and a ting soda. But nah, it was two men in suits. One flashed a badge. FBI. They asked if they could come in. Girl, I thought I was about to pass out. Turns out, Jordan, aka Kevin, was officially under federal investigation for wire fraud, identity theft, and romance scamming across state lines. They'd been tracking him for months. My report? It added major fuel to their case. They left me with a contact at the bureau and a link to submit all the financial documents. I uploaded every invoice, every screenshot, every text, and then, 3 days later, I got an email. The bank was able to reverse $11,838.62. Not all of it. But baby, it was a blessing. I cried into my satin pillowcase, not just because I got the money back, but because I didn't let him win. I chose to fight, and the system actually worked this time. The next week, I hosted a pop-up with the same girls he scammed. We did nails, sold lashes, body butter, and made a whole vibe out of it. We called it Claws and Clarity, Healing Through Hustle. It was packed. Energy was beautiful. And guess what? We raised over $4,000 for women-owned businesses impacted by financial scams. Karma? She works overtime, honey. That Sunday morning, I was filing my client's nails into a perfect almond when she asked, "Girl, how do you stay so calm after all that?" And honestly, I paused because I wasn't calm. I was learning to stay grounded. I told her the truth. Some nights I still check my accounts like he might sneak back in. But what helps? Staying booked, journaling between clients, and reminding myself, I run this. He just tried to rent it for free. Midweek, I went to this networking event for beauty entrepreneurs. First time putting myself out there again. As soon as I walked in, I spotted a familiar silhouette across the room. Broad shoulders, designer loafers, fade clean enough to reflect the lights. But it wasn't him, just someone who looked like him. My heart still jumped. That's trauma, y'all. It lingers. I sipped my mango spritzer, shook it off, and ended up meeting a dope tax consultant who offered to help me restructure my business under an S-corp, free of charge. That moment, it reminded me, real support doesn't come with secret passwords and fake love. Hey, goddess babes! The goal is to become your own nail tech, especially in today's world where everything is overly expensive but easily accessible. With just a few clicks, you can find all the tools and products you need from places like Amazon, Shein, and so many other websites. Whether you love acrylics, dip powder, polygel, or press-ons, the style possibilities are endless. Sanitation is extremely important, so always make sure to clean your tools and workspace before and after doing a nail set. Whether it's for yourself or a client, clean tools, they're safe, beautiful nails. I'm here to show you how to do your own nails from start to finish. Once I realized how much money I was spending every 2 weeks, I decided to invest that into learning. I watched some great YouTube videos, found amazing deals online, and taught myself how to do nails right at home. Now I switch up my style as often as I want, and you can too, without breaking the bank. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a licensed nail tech. I didn't go to school for this, but I've learned how to create nails I love, and I'm here to help you do the same. Let's save money, stay cute, and slay together. The number kept calling. No name. Just unknown. I finally picked up, heart racing, palms sweaty. A deep voice on the other end said, "You thought you were smart, but I always win." I froze. I knew that voice. It was Kevin. But before I could say anything, another voice interrupted. "This call is being monitored by the Federal Bureau of Prisons?" Yup. Kevin tried to flex from jail. "Boy, go braid somebody's commissary noodles and leave me alone." I hung up with a smile. To the channel where mystery meets nail obsession. I break down chilling cases, shocking twists, and unsolved stories you won't stop thinking about. Disclaimer, the crime stories shared on this channel are fictional and created purely for entertainment purposes. Viewer discretion is advised, as the themes may still include sensitive or suspenseful content. Watch as I bring you thrilling tales well. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload. Instead of letting fear live rent-free in my head, I launched my first ever virtual nail class, Sculpt, Secure, and Slay. We talked gel structure, fraud-proof business practices, and how to bounce back from being scammed without losing your fire. Over 300 people signed up, It was the biggest live I'd ever done. That was my real revenge. Growth, knowledge, empowerment. And guess what? One of the attendees was the same girl Kevin scammed back in 2022. She DM'd me later and said, "I found you through looped drama, but I stayed for the inspiration." I ended that wild week writing in my journal by candlelight. Today, I learned that love can be a scam, but so can fear. And I'm done investing in either. Sometimes heartbreak gives you the blueprint for your glow up. So, to the girl listening who's ever lost money, time, peace, or love to someone who only saw your light as a target, you're not dumb, you're data, and now you're dangerous. Just as I was winding down, soaking my feet, and watching How to Get Away with Murder, a DM popped up from a burner account. No profile pic, no posts. The message said, "You think you won, but someone on your team was feeding me your info." I dropped my phone. My team? What team? I'm a solo tech. But then it hit me. I had given one person access to my calendar, supply shipments, and social links when I started getting overwhelmed. A part-time assistant named Tori who applied through a beauty biz Facebook group. Sweet voice, almond nails, super organized. But what if she wasn't just helping? I texted Tori, "Hey, random Q, did you ever know Jordan personally before you worked with me?" She replied almost instantly, "OMG, no. Why would you ask that? Wait, did something happen?" Too fast, too friendly, too fake. I called, went straight to voicemail, checked her Instagram, deactivated. Sis vanished like glitter dust after a good soak-off. Here's where it gets really wild. My Sunday client, Sierra, came in for a fill and casually said, "Oh yeah, I saw your old assistant at Lenox Mall last night. She was with some dude in a hoodie and Tim's. Looked like trouble, but she had that same Luid you gave her for Christmas." My jaw dropped. I'd never posted that gift online. Only someone on the inside would have known. They weren't just scamming me. They were running a 2-person long con, playing the innocent intern and the supportive boyfriend at the same damn time. I called in a favor. One of my older clients, Miss Renee, used to be a private investigator for a major bank. She'd been retired for years, but loved a good puzzle. I gave her Tori's resume, phone number, and the address she listed when she applied. Renee showed up the next day with a full folder. Fake name, fake address, multiple cash transfer receipts from My Business Venmo. Tori had been quietly rerouting $20 here, $50 there, rounding it off, calling it tip processing in my ledger. Death by 1,000 cuts. And she nearly bled my business dry. After gathering every bit of evidence, I filed an updated police report. This time, the fraud involved 2 suspects. They were officially being investigated as co-conspirators. I handed in the financial records, video footage, and even a screenshot of Tori holding the Louis at the mall. The detective looked me in the eye and said, "You've built a case stronger than half the ones we see in court." And I realized all the tracking, tears, screenshots, receipts, they weren't just healing tools. They were weapons. I was back in bed feeling relieved until I got a PayPal notification. Someone tried to reactivate a merchant link under my business name. The name used? Nailed by K. Same as mine, but with a dash and a new phone number. They were still trying to be me. That's when I knew this wasn't just a scam. This was identity theft. 2 hours later, I got the call. Both Kevin and Tori were picked up at a Greyhound station in Macon. Bags packed, prepaid phones on them, and $3,200 in cash tucked into a makeup bag under Tori's seat. They were headed for Florida. But karma beat the bus. Case closed, cards frozen, business protected, but trust rebuilt from scratch. Now, when clients sit at my table, they don't just leave with a fire set. They leave knowing their nail tech went to war for her business and won. The morning after they were arrested, I sat at my kitchen table with black coffee, my bonnet on, and a deep stillness around me. You'd think I'd feel victorious, relieved, but I didn't. I felt numb. Like I'd just survived a storm so quiet it didn't knock down walls, it eroded the inside of my trust, brick by brick. I looked around my studio, crystals scattered, tips still in trays, client thank you cards taped to the wall, and whispered to myself, we're still standing. I went back to Bank of America to officially lock everything down. Miss Claudia saw me and gasped, "Baby girl, I heard what happened." She pulled me into her cubicle, slid me a bottle of water, and helped me set up multi-layer business security that even Kevin couldn't have cracked. Then she leaned in and said, "Promise me something?" I nodded. "Next time a man offers to invest, you tell him the price of admission is a background check and a certified check." We both laughed, but she wasn't joking. Out of nowhere, I got an email from a popular beauty business podcast, The Hustle Files. They wanted me to come on and talk about financial abuse and entrepreneurship, how scammers prey on independent women. At first, I hesitated. I mean, it's one thing to tell y'all on YouTube, it's another to go public to strangers. But then I thought about every nail tech, braider, esthetician who's ever been love-bombed by someone only interested in her profit margins. I was midway through a chrome French set when someone knocked on my studio door. No appointment, no text, just bold. It was Tori's sister. She looked nervous, said she didn't agree with what Tori did, but felt I deserved something. She handed me a small black notebook. "She kept track of everything," she whispered. She thought she'd flip it into a memoir one day. A memoir? Sis was journaling her crimes like it was a Pinterest board. That night, I sat cross-legged on my couch, flipping pages. Every client transfer, cash sneak, and emotional manipulation plan was laid out in detail, even dates when Kevin told her to flirt with my clients to dig for more intel. There were sketches, notes about my studio layout, even a list labeled Kayana's weak points. That one broke me. She wrote, "Too trusting, needs validation, obsessed with loyalty." And she wasn't wrong. But that list, that became my blueprint to never let it happen again. I scanned the entire notebook and gave it to my lawyer. My case was now officially part of a growing file with the Department of Justice. Apparently, Kevin and Tori weren't just scamming nail techs, they were part of a romance finance ring targeting beauty entrepreneurs all over the Southeast. The DOJ told me, "You might be asked to testify." And you know what? I'm ready. Let them see my face on that stand. No filter, no fear, just acrylic, ambition, and receipts. I ended that week with a solo polish change. No music, no camera rolling, just me and my reflection. I took off the bold red I'd been wearing since the arrest and replaced it with a clean, sharp nude. Simple, grown, resilient. Sometimes survival isn't loud. Sometimes it's the steady beat of a nail file on a quiet night, knowing you rebuilt what was stolen and didn't lose yourself in the process. Just when I thought the story was closed, a notification hit my phone. New follower, A nailed by K's official. I clicked. One post, a promo flyer. Caption read, "She tried to end us, but we're back. New city, new hustle, new bag." The profile pic? A blurry shot of Tori, wearing one of my old aprons. And just like that, the sequel begins. I was disinfecting my nail station, just vibing to Ezier and sipping oat milk coffee, when I heard a knock. No text, no client expected. I cracked the door open and found a brown padded envelope with no return address, just my name, handwritten. Inside, a flash drive, and a sticky note that read, "If you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story." I swear, my stomach flipped like a press-on during a rushed set. I plugged the drive into my laptop, heart thumping so hard I could barely breathe. It was a folder full of video clips, hidden camera footage, Kevin and Tori in hotel rooms, talking numbers, mapping out nail events, even rehearsing conversations like they were running scripts. And in one clip, Tori's voice saying, "Kayana's too focused on her image, she'll never see this coming." That one hit different, because I used to think staying professional meant not trusting your gut. Not anymore.
The goal is to become your own nail tech, especially in today's world, where everything feels overpriced, yet so accessible. With just a few clicks, you can find everything you need on websites like Amazon, Shein, and so many others. Whether you're into acrylic, dip powder, polygel, or press-ons, the options for creating beautiful nails are endless. I'm here to show you how to do your own nails from start to finish. I simply added up how much I was spending every 2 weeks, watched a few helpful YouTube videos, took advantage of affordable deals, and learned how to do nails right at home. Now I can switch up my style every week if I want to, and you can too. Just a quick disclaimer. I'm not a licensed nail tech and I didn't go to school for it, but I've learned how to create beautiful nails that I love, and you can too.
To the channel where mystery meets nail obsession, I break down chilling cases, shocking twists, and unsolved stories you won't stop thinking about. Disclaimer, the crime stories shared on this channel are fictional and created purely for entertainment purposes. Viewer discretion is advised, as the themes may still include sensitive or suspenseful content. Watch as I bring you thrilling tales well. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload. Later that day, I got a call from a reporter who'd been following financial scams targeting Black-owned beauty businesses. She'd heard about me through someone in the banking world. Probably Miss Claudia, bless her. She said, "Your story could change the game. Want to go public?" I hesitated, because being public means being vulnerable again. But then I thought about the next nail tech who might ignore a red flag because he shows up in Dior and smiles soft. I said, "Let's talk." My midday client, Trina, came in for a marble fill-in and, mid-buffing, said, "Hey, I didn't want to say anything, but someone came to my shop last week asking about you, said they were a potential business partner. But the questions felt off." She showed me a pic she secretly snapped. It was Tori, in a short bob and big sunglasses, standing outside her lash suite like nothing ever happened. This girl was still out here, rebranding and circling back. Now I've got security cams inside and outside my suite, a legal team on standby, and a whole new clause in my assistant contracts. But beyond that, I've got eyes open, spirit aligned, vision locked in, because I'm not just a nail tech anymore. I'm a businesswoman who survived a heist in stilettos. And if they think the story ends here, they forgot who they messed with. I was reorganizing my chrome powders when I got a ping from a beauty boss group chat I hadn't been active in for weeks. Someone dropped a screenshot from another chat called the Looped List. And guess what? My name was on it. A list of beauty professionals across Atlanta, Charlotte, and Houston, all with notes next to our names like emotional, too trusting, owns booking site, and easy target. Turns out Kevin and Tori were just part of a bigger crew. This wasn't personal anymore. It was organized, targeting Black beauty entrepreneurs with growing platforms and open hearts. The next day, my neighbor texted me, "Girl, I think someone tried to pry your studio door last night." My heart dropped. I checked the security cam footage. A shadowy figure in a hoodie stood by my door for 14 minutes. Didn't break in, but left a single pink press-on nail glued to my doorframe. That was my brand color. It wasn't just intimidation, it was personal. They wanted me to feel watched. But what they didn't know, I had already booked a consultation with a cybersecurity firm. This wasn't just a nail studio anymore, it was a fortress. Another client, quiet, soft-spoken, came for a soak-off, whispered something mid-service that made my blood run cold. She said, "You know, I dated Kevin before, years ago. Same scam, different city." I froze. She pulled out an old photo. Him, buzz cut, gold chain, standing next to a woman who looked just like Tori. Except it was a different name. This had been going on for years. And I wasn't the only final chapter, just the one who said something loud enough for the others to find me. I got a strange email from a Proton Mail address. Subject line, "You're not crazy." The message was short. They don't work alone. If you keep digging, protect yourself. Watch who you let book one-on-one. No name, no reply option, but attached, a blurry screenshot of what looked like a warehouse filled with labeled boxes. Wigs, press-ons, booking systems, lash tools. It wasn't just a scam, it was a ring. A full-on operation reselling stolen beauty inventory under shell accounts. That night, I had a dream. No, a vision. I was walking into my studio, except it wasn't mine anymore. Everything looked familiar, but off. My logo was spray-painted over. My appointment board had different names. And in the mirror behind my desk, I saw Tori. She smiled, but it wasn't friendly. It was like she was saying, "You built it, but I'll wear it." I woke up sweating, and that's when I knew. This wasn't over. And maybe it never would be. Now I'm rebuilding. Not just my business, but a network. I'm connecting with other nail techs, estheticians, and hairstylists across the country. We're sharing our stories, protecting each other, setting traps for scammers before they get in the door. Because I might have been their mark. But now, I'm their warning. I lit my lavender candle, took off my watch, and finally exhaled. Not the fake deep breath you take after drama. I mean the real kind. The one where your body realizes the storm's past, even if the clouds are still in the distance. I looked around my studio and smiled for the first time in weeks, not because everything was perfect, but because everything was mine. Earned, protected, fought for. No man, no assistant, no scam could take that from me again. That morning, I prepped a new set for myself. Sharp coffin shape, jet black, with one chrome accent nail, because sometimes you gotta remind them there's still a little danger in your glow-up. As I painted, I recorded a voice memo for myself. You survived the con, you kept your crown, and now you build louder, bolder, smarter. I wasn't doing this just for me anymore. I was doing it for every woman who ever got played while she was chasing her dream. This set, it wasn't for looks. It was my armor. Right as I cleaned up, I got one more email. No subject line, no signature, just a single sentence. We see you leveled up. Let's see how long you last. The sender's location, Houston, new city, same shadows. And just like that, I opened a new folder on my desktop. War Files 2. Right as I cleaned up, I got one more email. No subject line, no signature, just a single sentence. We see you leveled up. Let's see how long you last. The sender's location, Houston, new city, same shadows. And just like that, I opened a new folder on my desktop. War Files 2. Still, I stayed ready. Business insurance updated, cameras live, client vetting tighter than ever. Because if they circled back again, they wouldn't find the same girl they played before. They'd find a woman waiting. I was checking DMs from potential collabs when I noticed a strange voice note in my message requests. The username was just numbers. I hit play and immediately paused it halfway through. A woman's voice. Breathy. Shaky. She said, "I used to work with them. I'm not proud, but I need you to know, Houston isn't the only hub. Look in Vegas next." Then the note cut off. No follow-up, account deleted. And just like that, a new city hit the map. I booked a one-way ticket to Vegas, not for revenge, for answers. For the girls still out there doing nails in silence, wondering why their bookings suddenly dropped or their inventory vanished. I wasn't just a nail tech anymore. I was an investigator in acrylics, a survivor in stilettos.
Hey, goddess babes! Let's be real. The cost of beauty is through the roof these days. But the truth is, you don't need to spend hundreds every month at the nail salon when you can become your own nail tech from the comfort of your home. We're living in a time where convenience is at your fingertips. From Amazon to Shein and beyond, there are endless affordable options to get everything you need. Acrylic, dip powder, polygel, press-ons, you name it. But before we get into the glam, let's talk about something just as important: sanitation. Whether you're doing nails for yourself or someone else, always clean your tools and workspace before and after every set. Safety and hygiene first, always. Now here's where the finance girly in me steps in. I took a good look at my budget and realized just how much I was spending on nails every 2 weeks. So I made a smart move, invested in tools, watched YouTube tutorials, caught some insane deals, and learned the art of nails myself. Now I get to switch up my style whenever I want, all while saving coins. And if you love a little true crime while you file and polish, same. That's why I combined both of my favorite worlds, nails and mystery. So while I'm showing you how to slay a new set, I'll also be serving up some real-life stories that'll keep you glued to the screen. Beauty and chills? Yes, please. Disclaimer, I'm not a licensed nail tech. Just a passionate DIY queen who's figured out how to make it work. And now, I'm sharing it all with you. Let's save money, stay safe, get cute, and maybe even solve a mystery or two.
And if they wanted to play chess, let's just say I had finally learned how to move like a queen, to the channel where mystery meets nail obsession. I break down chilling cases, shocking twists, and unsolved stories you won't stop thinking about. Unsolved mysteries. Missing. Disclaimer: the crime stories shared on this channel are fictional and created purely for entertainment purposes. Viewer discretion is advised, as the themes may still include sensitive or suspenseful content. Watch as I bring you thrilling tales well. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload.